If you're in perimenopause and you feel like you just can't stay consistent anymore, this video is for you. Maybe you used to be disciplined. You could follow through, you could stick with a plan, and you could push yourself when you needed to. And now you start strong and then something just unwraps. You miss a workout, you grab whatever's easiest to eat, and you tell yourself you'll reset on Monday. And quietly, you start wondering, what is wrong with you? Let me just say this clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. Perimenopause makes consistency harder. And once you understand why, you can actually stop fighting yourself and start building structure that actually works in this season. And I go much deeper into this inside my 5-day mini course, Menopause with Clarity, because most women don't need more pressure, they need understanding. You'll find that linked in the description box below. Now, let's talk about what's actually happening in perimenopause. First, your hormones are shifting. Okay. Estrogen affects a lot more than just your cycle. It affects mood regulation, sleep quality, cognitive clarity, and stress response. And that's why so many women experience perimenopause brain fog, difficulty focusing, slower decision making, and feeling mentally scattered. It's also why some women experience anxiety in perimenopause or even symptoms of perimenopause depression. Now, these aren't character flaws. They are natural neurological and hormonal shifts. When estrogen fluctuates, your nervous system just becomes more sensitive. So that means that small stressors can feel so much bigger. Sleep disruption compounds a lot faster, and emotional resilience lowers, and that decision fatigue increases. Consistency requires executive function. It requires follow through, planning, delayed gratification. And perimenopause puts pressure on all of those systems. So this isn't laziness. That's a hormonal shift meeting a full midlife load. Now, secondly, your mental load is likely heavier than it's ever been before. Many women in this season are caring for teenagers. I know that personally. That can be a huge stressor. Helping aging parents, managing careers, navigating new health concerns, and often dealing with things like perimenopausal weight gain, which adds another emotional layer. So you're not just less motivated, you're carrying a lot more. And when the nervous system feels overloaded, it seeks relief rather than discipline. That's why in the evenings, you're sitting there scrolling instead of stretching, snacking instead of prepping good meals, and skipping those workouts instead of just starting. And it's not because you don't care, but it's because your system is just overtired. And here's the mistake most women make. They respond to inconsistency by trying harder in the form of a strict diet, more cardio, bigger promises to themselves, and more intensity. But more intensity collapses under hormonal stress, especially when you're navigating brain fog, anxiety in perimenopause, or feeling mentally heavy in ways you can't fully explain. Structure sustains things. And this is where mental restoration comes in. Mental restoration isn't about hype. It's about building a repeatable structure that works even when the motivation dips. So instead of saying, I need to feel more inspired, we shift to what is simple enough to repeat. Instead of saying, I'll go all in and change everything, we shift to what can I consistently do at 70%? Things like short strength training sessions, planned protein in your meals, a consistent sleep window. Nothing extreme or dramatic, just steady consistency. This is exactly what I walk women through in step by step inside my 5-day mini course, Menopause with Clarity. How to simplify your habits to match this season of perimenopause instead of fighting it. Because perimenopause doesn't require you to try harder. It requires a approach that actually matches this season. Now, I want you to consider something. If you've been dealing with perimenopause brain fog or feeling anxious in ways you didn't before, or experiencing symptoms that resemble perimenopause depression, and at the same time struggling with perimenopausal weight gain, of course consistency feels harder. Perimenopause changes how your brain processes stress and decisions. So trying to push harder isn't the answer. What you need now is structure and clarity. That's exactly why I created Menopause with Clarity, a simple 5-day mini course that explains what's changing in your body during perimenopause and how to focus on what actually matters first. It's calm, structured, and gives you direction rather than overwhelm. And you can find that linked in the description box below. Now, If this helped you understand why consistency feels harder in perimenopause, you'll want to watch this next video. In that video, I explain why menopause feels so confusing in the first place and what actually matters first so you stop second guessing. When you understand that bigger picture, everything we talked about today makes even more sense. So if you want to go deeper into that clarity, watch this video next.